Hey, good afternoon. What's going on, everybody? March Madness, day 2 action here. I'm sweating some games right now, and they don't look great. Mississippi State first half money line down a point with 1:17 to go, Ben,
Well,
and
that
then
can't be a good sign.
popped up in
Loffy's
the tools.
gone,
Robert
so I
Morris
have to take over.
plus 12.5 first half. That doesn't look great either. The tools have been killing college, so I just bet whatever they give me.
I mean, you got good numbers. We were talking about that before the show. You also just froze, so I didn't hear anything you said.
Oh,
But
good.
I assume you mentioned that you're also, don't bury the lead, that you're also sweating Cypress and San Marino. Red dot sweat, courtesy of me. We need a goal in the first half over there. We're getting all egregious. It's March Madness time. We still have some bets on the board, and the tools you mentioned. Tools have been killing it in March.
They sure have, man. Yeah, a lot of bets on the board. 10-game NBA slate, only one NHL. But I've been having a spattering of college bets pop up. Got a puck line in earlier today. That was pretty exciting. Yeah. Alexander said, I wish college basketball player props were legal in Maryland, not in Pennsylvania either, man. So, yeah.
Not in New York. I hear you, brother.
But how you feeling?
I feel good. I want to give a shout out to the ice yesterday because I've had this happen to me a couple times this year. I got bailed out on hockey yesterday. So lucky. Saved me. I didn't have a particularly good NBA day. College should have been better. I just could not catch a break yesterday. Michigan got there, and it ended up being very close, even though I don't think it should have. But man, I had like 4 or 5 bets that you truly it came down to, a final possession of a meaningless game, and I could not get over the hump. It was quite frustrating.
Those are never fun, but plenty of basketball to go, plenty of other stuff to sweat today. A lot of NBA. High Point, man, poor High Point.
All right, there's another example. High Point. 6 minutes to go in that game. They're down 3 shooting foul shots. Like, what more could you ask for?
And then lost by what? Like 10, right?
12. Yeah. It was
12, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Montana down 4 in the second half. They lose by 19. Like, it just, tough runouts when these teams were in the games. The slate overall yesterday was horrendous in terms of, I thought, quality games. Arkansas and Kansas was a good game, and that was about it. A lot of blowouts yesterday.
I had Kansas there, and that came down to the wire. Yeah, it was a tough one. I mean, look, like I said, yesterday I think was my first losing day in college basketball. So I'm not going to complain about that, right? It's just the way it goes. But yeah, man, we got some good bets on the board. Was going to generate some parlays out of the gate. Happy to have you guys with us. If you don't mind, take a second, hit that thumbs up, atone for your sins this morning. Subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below if you're listening or watching after the fact. I understand this is March Madness right now and people are watching that. But if you're here, ready to get some other bets in, we're going to do it. We'll do probably a shorter show today, Ben, just for the sake of, allowing people to get back to watching games, doing what they're doing. But there are a lot of really good bets on the board, particularly on BetMGM right now. I will say, though, today, my volume on FanDuel has been outstanding.
I got some good bets down on FanDuel this morning as well. I have not done much else. I was doing a couple other things, but you mentioned, and you've been clearly using it because you went right to it first thing, the new parlay generator, which is up on the screen. I have already been using because for some of these slates, I've actually wanted to restructure. So I'm betting, less actual dollars, but I'm raising my ceiling for total winnings potentially. So a little risk reward for me on Fridays.
Super simple too. You click bet, it takes you right there. It adds it into your bet set. And I love being able to see, though, the EV on everything with the odds, the X win. And then there are people asking about, like, how do I get the, true odds on this? Because you have the implied odds. So, like, it would be cool to see what the true odds are. But with the X win and with the implied odds, we can get a decent idea of all of that just by using this the calculator right here. Yep. By using the odds calculator, you can get all of that.
And that's the key. You have to understand where the edge is coming from. But with so many games in the NBA, generating parlays off your portfolios today is going to be really simple. You're going to have a ton of volume to do it. And that's what you need, because the generator works off your active parlays.
Yep.
So you need some volume to get enough permutations.
Wonder if there's anything opened up for college right now.
Let's see what we've got.
These
Might
bets
not be
pop
enough.
up and they disappear quick. Nah, just a minus 900. It's true, though. You got to get them quick. That's why I just turn the notifications on. And sometimes you're still not quick enough. But, yeah, DraftKings clearly looks the best right now. DraftKings for sure looks BetMGM looks the best as far as bets go, like the amount of bets on the screen. FanDuel looks okay, but a lot of this is negative HROI stuff on the season. ESPN has a bunch popping up. Not a ton on DraftKings right now, although I probably have 50 DraftKings bets in today already. So it really just comes down to like the time when they pop up, you bet them. A lot of, less than 1% EV spots here, but I know you're perfectly fine betting them as long as there's even a marginal edge there.
Yeah, definitely. I like that. I think you don't have to take it too fine a point as long as it's sound historical ROI and you're getting some volume. I'm pretty content looping those in. And if it's a parlay, I'm definitely content doing it. Like, you don't need all 3 legs to be super amazing. If one of them is really good and 2 of them are just neutral, you're still in a fine situation. You're just, again, upping the variance.
Let's see if there's any hidden bets I have here for DraftKings in place.
Hey, well, what do you got? Derek White bets in there?
Oh, dude, the other day I messaged you. I had the Derek White under 7. I don't know why I did it. I couldn't tell you why I decided it was a good idea. I did under 17 and a half points. He had 3 points at halftime, Ben. 3 points at halftime. And then had 2 free throws in the final minute of the game, hit 18, and I lost. I don't think I really should not bet Derek White bets. And the craziest part is you told me that you had over assists, which also lost.
Which also, he had 4 assists, and I had over 5.5, and he just, nope. Drew Holiday, Horford, all sorts of people. That was the game, too, that Schneiderman, or whatever his name was, former Creighton Blue Jay, South Dakota State, he had like 30 points off the bench for no reason. I don't know if you noticed that. It was quite a scene.
It's just the way it goes. Have you heard this? You heard this theory that there is a ancient Egyptian site in the Grand Canyon?
I thought it was under
I saw this
pyramids.
thing the other day that they're saying that now, like, mile-long cylindrical structures have been found through satellite radar or something under the the Great Pyramid in Giza.
I did hear that.
What's that?
I heard something about that.
That'd be kind of cool, right?
Yeah, sure. That would be. I'll always remember where I was if that's confirmed.
If that was confirmed, you wouldn't think that was amazing.
I don't. Why? What the hell do I care?
Because then everything we think we know in this entire world would be.
Yeah, I don't like that. I like things nice and tidy.
But the problem is Zahi Hawass, who is like the preeminent kind of mainstream archaeologist in Egypt. They gatekeep everything. So you're not allowed to do anything. We'll talk later. Pretty good stuff.
Please. Though. We still have no red dot, by the way.
That's what I was going to ask. How are we doing?
You have to look at you're not respecting the red dot.
I'm trying to do a show.
I'm just saying. We should honestly put it on the screen. But
it's up.
Okay.
It's up.
I got it. I can feel it. Cyprus we're gonna see a red dot. Yeah, there are some other sites, Onyx Bets and Fliff and some of those, which are nice. The exchanges as well, which I still haven't got into, but a lot of options out there in terms of where to get fills for your bets.
Also, we have the same game X parlay boost on DraftKings. I don't know if anything is going to be available, but let's see if we could do it. Again, even if we can find some stuff that's like marginally, plus EV, I think that'll be fine.
Definitely. Again, you don't need a kill spot on every single, you don't want to be taking bad but small edges compounded with big edges into a parlay is extremely effective.
These tools truly have been killing it in March, though. So,
Been a
we
great
get
run.
something.
That's why, yeah, keep it going.
Yeah, we get something, we bet it. It's really that simple. And guys, as always, you want to check it out. Your first week's always free. Link is in the description. Ben, if you have it, throw it in the chat. First week is 100% free. Just get as many bets down as you can. Like, that's all I can tell you. Build out a simple portfolio. It doesn't take long, and you can always DM me. Join the Discord. Link it straight through the app in your profile settings. It's free. And put your bankroll in. Put less in if you want to get more bets, and bet less per bet if you feel more comfortable with that. Filter out negative ROI stuff. Just bet as much as you can, and you'll see the results. Dude, the guy gave 1,000 to bet for 30 days, Dan. After day 27, he's at 3,800, Ben. Like that ROI is absurd for $1,000 investment in 27 days. Where else are you getting something like that where you can just bet on sports and sweat them at the same time?
And that is actually the distinction. I really don't talk about that enough, really. But like, what'd you say? 1,000 into
3,800.
That's what I mean. And then you're like, for a lot of people that don't understand what we're doing, they're like, wait a minute. I thought this was, 3% edge, 4% edge. How did you triple your, why aren't you at 1,030, 1,040? And it just shows, again, that's the compounding returns factor, which is the key to all this. It's not 3%. It's not 4%. It's daily returns because you're churning it so fast.
I look at it as 3% on everything you're wagering.
Exactly. But that's where people, if we reframed it, and we wouldn't do this because I don't think it's the appropriate way to say it, but 370% returns, triple your money, people will be like, oh shit, that's incredible. That's what we're doing.
That's actually what it is.
That is. It just doesn't have, it's steady growth rather than, oh, I'm going to just bet this, and if I win, I triple up.
Yep. Yes, exactly. By the way, I think I found us as long as DraftKings isn't giving us no two-way market, or as long as DraftKings has two-way markets and same game parlay for this Cleveland game, I think we're going to be able to build a four-legger out.
Okay. I like that.
Jalen Green under 2.5 3-pointers. That's plus 130. DeAndre Hunter under 1.5 threes. Threes have killed on DraftKings. Donovan Mitchell under 3.5 threes. So you have two from the same game there against Phoenix.
I love DraftKings 3-pointer. I have a separate portfolio for DraftKings 3-pointers, actually.
Do you really?
Yeah. Just because it's a common boost.
True. And profitable.
And super profitable. It's like my favorite market there. So I a lot of times my DraftKings actual portfolio is just OS rating of 1. So it's not a real, you actually gave it to me.
Oh, yeah.
But I do have a separate one just for 3-pointers to sort.
So yeah, we have a bunch up here. Would you rather go Donovan Mitchell under threes or Donovan Mitchell under assists? Because we have both on the board.
I'd rather go under threes personally.
Okay. We can do that. DeAndre Hunter under threes is also there.
Or you could split the difference again, because there is some opportunity. You get into correlation with some of these same game things, but
we could do this though. If we put DeAndre Hunter under 1.5 threes, and then the next best bet really would be Harrison Barnes under 1.5 threes as well.
Mm-hmm.
That gets us to plus 1480. Not
1480 will work. We had some success yesterday, by the way. Chat pointed that out. Some of those parlays.
Oh yeah, we hit like a 9-1, a 10-1, right?
Yep. You don't need to hit many of those to make it a profitable day.
By the way, I just boosted this to plus 1,700.
Yeah,
it's all still on the board. So bet this if you can. Jalen Green, hold on, let me get it. Yep, just bet it. Jalen Green under 2.5 threes. DeAndre Hunter under 1.5 threes. Oh, we got a nice little 4-leg 3-pointer parlay. Donovan Mitchell under 3.5 threes and Harrison Barnes under 1.5 threes. Sweet.
Beautiful.
All right, cool. I don't think there's anything on FanDuel right now. FanDuel's, dude, with the new algo, I don't know if you've noticed this. We've been a lot of overs, like all overs have been flowing on FanDuel.
I have seen some of that. There's just, again, more options, more markets. The alternative lines sometimes unlock the key. So we continue to refine that, but man, yeah.
I want to see if there's any good boost over there too. I am paying attention to this screen. I've seen no red dot yet.
We got to will the we need a red dot. It's coming. Cypress, I'm telling you. Couple of Drew, Mike, people just look at chat. Again, these guys running up $300 into 2,200, $500 into 1,800 in less than 2 months. It's hard to find that elsewhere.
Mike said, I just had to stop losing other bets in DFS to keep up the bankroll.
Oh,
so
I hear that.
Let me put this two ways though, right? Yes, but also no. Here's what what are you scoffing at me? Or are you?
No, I know exactly what you're going to say. 100%.
Like, yeah, it would be great if everything was winning. But if you love playing DFS and you love, like, as I do, particularly with NFL, I just love the NFL sweat for DFS. There's just no way I'd ever stop doing that, right? Like, I love it. Even if I have a down year, which is going to happen at times with NFL DFS, no question, right? It's small sample, tough sport. You're the same way. You love NFL DFS. Like, we sweat it. We commiserate every Sunday together, every Monday and Thursday, whatever it may be. There've been a lot of times where I've had a bad DFS day on a Sunday and still been over, like, a net profitable because of the portfolio EV tools. So while, yeah, it would be great to tamp down some of those losses, particularly with some of your own bets, but if you have fun originating bets and sweating other bets and you're still profitable because of portfolio EV, and maybe you've had a downswing in DFS, but you're still profitable because of portfolio EV, to me, Ben, I think that is, I think that's as good of a reason to use it as anything.
100%. Again, that's the one difference. You know, you can theoretically in DFS, you could take $20. It's happened to many people. You could turn into $1 million. You know, that doesn't really happen other places. There are crazy. Now, with that, you're talking lotto tickets, but if I could play the lotto for free, I would play it, obviously. If my actual tickets were covered, and in a way, it gives you some flexibility and it extends the betting. It's true. Brett Hunter, who's obviously a good dude, sharp dude. You know, I had a terrible February personally originating bets. I just couldn't find it. It happens.
And you had a killer January, which is funny.
I mean, I couldn't miss in January, but I couldn't buy one in February. And March has been average at best. But if you zoom out for me, these tools have given me a lot of coverage, and that is so crucial. Now, if Cypress could just score this goal, I wouldn't have to talk like that. But that's neither here nor there. The bet tracker. So honestly, what happened with bet tracker, and the devs could speak more to it. You know, it's why you want to be in Discord, because they provide even more information there. But the short answer is that it was so buggy. We were doing a disservice to everybody by pouring resources into it. So we just said, you know what? Let's shelve that and let's focus on all these other enhancements, because the company that we worked with there, just unfortunately.
Red dot.
Is it? Is there a red dot?
Yeah, red dot.
Oh, baby. Cypress, what did I tell you? Now we just needed to score. Come on now. Don't tell me.
You got it.
That's not an electric sweat. Do not tell me that doesn't hit.
Shit, yeah, that was cool. Yeah, all right.
Now we just need it to hold.
Wait, so with my Asian odds, at the very least, I split my bet, correct?
If this goal counts, which we hope it does, the worst that can happen is you could lose half.
I'm saying split the bet. Yeah.
Yes. And if you get one more, I'm in the clear, because I had under a goal over 30 minutes and it's the 26 minutes.
Oh, you got it at the 27, actually. Oh, yeah, the 26. Woo! Awesome.
Watch when it's offside.
Yeah, the service we were getting them from, it is what it is, but like it was super buggy. I couldn't even sync my FanDuel, but we have something new coming. So we're going to have like a bet placement thing, a bet placement tool that's going to be way better for you guys. You're going to love it. Not only that, you should have a Picket or like a juice reel anyway, because you can just dig so much further into that. Like, highly recommend you have one of those for anyway. Like, I use my Picket every single day. Dan, who I set up with the accounts and got him set up and everything and bankrolled him, I told her, I was like, unless you have a picket, none of this works. Like, you need to know what's going right and what's going wrong. So yeah.
Oh, no,
Anyway,
you have to track.
by the way, shout out to Trevor. Said he's up. He couldn't be happier with the tools. Almost through my first month and 2x my bankroll. Like, yeah, dude, that's 100% ROI on your bankroll.
They took our goal away.
No fucking way.
You see what goes on in my life?
Offsides.
You hear that noise?
Yeah,
That's
I heard the
noise
sound
of
effect.
pain. You're getting the full
Unreal.
experience. Now they need to score again for me. And this is why Portfolio EV is so important, because when you can't catch a break, that's so frustrating.
Robert Morris covered 12.5 first half at least.
Ooh, that's no live soccer. That live soccer bet was from me. I originated that.
Do you have another one we can bet right now and sweat with the people watching the show?
What? I mean, I think you could live bet over 0.5 goals for the first half in the Cyprus game for sure.
Do it. Tell them how to find it.
I mean, you just got to go to.
I'm not betting it because I already have a bet here, but
so do I. You just got to go to.
Well, you could bet it because you have more time. I actually bet a first half line.
Well, so did I.
You bet 30 minutes.
Yeah, I know. I'm running out of time. If you go to DraftKings and you got to go to World Cup qualifiers in Europe, and you find the Cyprus San Marino game, and you click into it and go to halves, you will see over 0.5 goals, and it'll be about -110 right now. And they have about 15-ish minutes, give or take, to score a goal. They already scored one, but society doesn't want us to have nice things.
Renee Diaz, OddsShoppers turned 100 into 2K for me in 2 weeks.
That's absurd.
Yeah, man. Awesome. That's
But
huge.
seriously, where else are you going to get 100 into 2K?
You aren't.
2 weeks.
You aren't. That's what I'm saying. Like, you aren't. And people don't want to start with the 100 because they think, like, oh, it might take a while. Even if it does take a little longer than you think, once you get, like, let's say you get to 1K, now you can bet 1,000 every single day. Think about that. That's insane. Like, if you, I said this to you the other day. I was like, I could look on FanDuel and it says I bet like 3 million last year. Certainly don't have a $3 million bankroll.
Of course not. Of course
Right?
not. It's churn. It's over and over. Use the same dollars over and over and over.
Yep.
Thank you, NCAA basketball live on. That seems very legit.
I don't think I have moderator here either, so I can't even
Ban
remove
user
that.
and delete their comments. Can I do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Get out. You banned and your comments are deleted.
Anyway.
Oh my God, that's so you got the full red dot experience there. That's
really tilting though.
Yeah.
Like, it was there.
Yeah, we had it. They scored. They scored the goal at the perfect time, and then just they're offside by this much, and it all crumbles.
Look, we can make an overs parlay.
Ooh.
We can make an overs parlay on FanDuel. You want to do it?
Let's do it. Jabari Smith.
Jabari Smith. I'm not going to take assists because HROI on assists for FanDuel is bad. That's what's cool about the new parlay builder, the new parlay generator, is it's taking from your portfolios. So I won't get any PRA 3-pointers or assists in any of my parlays.
Yeah, again, that's the beauty of having these. I'm looking at the markets over here. The HROI, it doesn't have to be where you have to beat every market at every book.
Right.
Like FanDuel's very sharp. I really think. Some of their markets, though, are beatable. Some I don't know if they are. So I make a portfolio just for those.
Old Flutter Sports. All right, here we go. Mamukelishvili. How about that one? Sandro Mamukelishvili.
Is that the guy who had like 40 points in 10 minutes the other day?
Remember Boban used to do that?
Yeah.
Jabari Smith over. This is fun. I'm betting this right now. Jabari Smith over 5.5 rebounds. Kevin Durant over 24.5 points. And Mamukelishvili over 3.5 rebounds is -260. So what does this get us to? 456, still 6% EV.
Yeah. But that's again, when you do a parlay like that, a lot of times you're expecting a higher payout, but then you look at the X win, you're still, of course, a big dog to cash this, but 19% is a lot different than 3% or 4. You have a decent equity to actually cash this somewhat frequently.
Definitely. Let's load it. Let's do it. That's actually pretty cool. I wasn't expecting us to be able to get that either.
No.
I wonder if there's any boosts.
Most of the boosts that I saw were college basketball centric. The dog of the day, which, by the way, was McNeese yesterday.
Oh, we almost took McNeese.
I know.
I
don't know how much it paid. I would have been interested if anyone had that. Let us know in the chat. How much did it pay?
Yeah, we for sure talked about them being one of our options.
Yeah, we put them in the parlay.
Let me just make sure there's no boost available for FanDuel.
Yeah, Troy to me is Lipscomb, Troy. That's where you want to be living for the dog of the day today.
Yeah? Which one would you pick?
I picked Lipscomb, but that's more just on gut feel. I honestly think, if you look at the odds, Troy, their money line is like plus 450 and Lipscomb's is like plus 800. So I think it's pretty clear that Troy has a better chance to beat Kentucky than Lipscomb does to beat Iowa State.
Okay.
Even though I did bet Lipscomb today in life, but I took the points naturally.
I just bet this parlay.
I'm still very salty about this soccer game.
And right up against it too. Like
I spiked it. I did my that's one, again, it sucks, but I did my, they scored. Like, this is really all you can ask for.
Yep. Right. It's just brutal because you even mentioned if it stands.
Because it's just been this is the variance of sport. Like in January, that's just standing. It's standing. In February, they take away that goal, and then they take away a goal that I don't even have yet. It's -1 somehow. Like, sometimes it's a blessing, sometimes it's a curse.
Desmond Bain questionable now, so let's pay attention to that.
Ooh,
this might actually give me a good opportunity to display this in real time, Ben. I think you know what I'm about to do. This is where when stuff like this pops up. Oh, by the way, Iowa State Cyclones. Oh no, you know what? That's because it just started. So yeah. that's not a real bet. When news like this on Desmond Bain pops up and the sharp sports books are slower to move, what can oftentimes happen is you're going to see a lot of bets pop up that are Memphis, right?
Yep.
And there it is. Look at that.
Yep.
Right on cue.
Yep.
See that? Right on cue. I'm not betting any of them.
Nope. This is where you do want to use some intuition. The tools, again, if you bet these, overtime is small dent. But look at it. It doesn't pass the smell test. Why are four different bets on Memphis, all grading out astronomically good at the same time with all the same EVH?
Exactly. Yep.
Clearly something happened.
For what it's worth, even more than that. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at the top.
Yeah. So you just immediately that DraftKings, there is obviously a splinter in the market where some books moved and some books didn't, and it creates that.
Another thing that happens, if you go into this data drop down, if I'm seeing something where all of them are plus EV except for, say, Pinnacle, here's a good example. Bet River's fine, but all of them except for Penny, that scares me off. Not doing it. I could not recommend more to just turn on notifications for Underdog NBA. Right, did you see how that notification just came straight to my phone? And I saw it. I knew that I wasn't going to be touching Memphis players right there. Wasn't going to do it. Now, people ask this all the time. This doesn't mean you don't bet them later, right? It just means you let the dust settle first.
Yeah, there's some artificial, and again, the other part is if you're flat betting or something, not that big of a deal. If you bet 200 bets and you have 3 in there that you wish you didn't, it's not a huge deal. Like it's not like the bets can't win. It's just artificial value. It is not an OS rating of like 80. That's
Right.
just not true.
Right. It's value based on a stale line is what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, see, like, all right, here's a good, like, look at this. DraftKings, I would assume. So DraftKings at 10.5 on Jalen Wells points, Onyx 10.5, whatever this is, 9.5 minus 105. But here's Penny 9.5 minus 126.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. Just wait. Just wait. That's all you can do. Anyway, doesn't mean there aren't still plenty of good bets out there. I would just be fading this spot on Memphis right now.
Yeah, you just want to be careful with that. And with the volume that the tools are getting, my kind of general rule of thumb is if I'm on the fence, I just wait. Because even if I miss it, okay, I may have missed a good spot. There's about 75 more between now and tip off. So
yep. That's the thing. Yeah, never get that FOMO either.
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
This, you'll be fine.
Like, it's okay to miss some of those. And if you're really finding yourself saying, man, I this looks too good to be true, I'd wait. Honestly, don't leverage where 1 or 2 bets are going to define your day. That's the opposite of what we're trying to do.
Yep. Although I will say this Evan Mobley bet on DraftKings and Onyx, let's see, does look very good.
Yeah.
Like, look at this. Under 3.5 assists for Mobley right now. Penny minus 183. FanDuel minus 174. They're pretty much in lockstep there, right?
Yeah, it's not going to be on there long.
No, I might actually try and bet that real quick.
Yeah. That'll be a race to get that in.
I wish, you know what I'd like to do? Let me see if I can. What's that?
I know that I'm trying to check the score of this Mississippi State game. I need them to pick it up a little bit, boys. Come on.
Did you bet them? You take the points? Or no, you would have laid points on that, right?
Yeah. I mean, the money line, it ended up closing basically at a pick 'em.
Yeah.
So
you just grabbed what was the money line? Like,
it was like 112. I have it at 1.5 as well, but they just need to get it done. They're all right. They're right there. It's just, I hate games like this. You're down 2. You're like, whatever. Then they're down 4. Now they're down 6. Like, just don't slowly get it to where I look up and they're down 11 points.
I know. Well, that happened with Kansas and Arkansas yesterday. Not that, actually, that is exactly what happened. I have Kansas money line, and what was the money line? That was a really tight spread, right?
Yeah, it's probably like minus 180, maybe.
That actually is what I had. I got it at -1. You're absolutely right. Minus 180. So not as close as I thought, but still. It's like a 1-point game at halftime. I go to put my daughter to bed. I open my phone after I leave her room, and they're down like 11 points to start the second half.
Yep. All those games were like that yesterday. Like Missouri, they just couldn't, and then they closed to 1, and then they melted again. It was a weird. I mean, there's ebbs and flows in these college games, but I hope Mississippi State can keep contact here so they have a chance, because you get down 10 or 12 with 10 minutes to go, the pressure really mounts.
Yeah, big time. All right. One more thing before we get out of here. We're keeping these shows a lot more casual just during March Madness because we know everybody's doing their thing, right? But
I will say, though,
go ahead.
Like, it's March Madness, and most of you watching, I have a feeling you're already taking advantage of this. But for anyone who isn't, get this this is a great weekend to have the tools. And you get 7 full days on us. 7 free days. You just have to claim it. Claim the free trial. It's in the description. Go. You get your 7 days and then decide, because to have this for the weekend full of games, not just for March Madness, but for NHL, whatever, it's there for you. And there's no better time to learn before baseball.
Do you have the link for if you sign up on sportsbooks?
The link join?
Yeah, because if you guys sign up with any of our sportsbooks or pick'em partners, you get a free month of it. Or you know what you could do? You could sign up for 3 books or 3 pick'em sites, take a month of Portfolio EV, grab a month of your Tails package for free. So both of them are now free. Lay the House. They have a Tails package, right? Grab a month of theirs too in chat right now with us. What's up, fellas?
Yeah, good people.
Do that. Like, you guys do a lot of NASCAR too, right? Or no, that's Nuke
the House.
Nuke. There's Lay the House and Nuke the House. I'm getting them mixed up. So maybe Lay the House does. Either way, we have a lot of people in Tails now. My point being, if you use the link join, Lay the House said I'm NBA. If you use the link join and just follow those simple steps at the top of the page, sign up on any of those books, make the minimum deposit and place a bet. Follow those steps and you'll just get Portfolio EV 100% free for the month.
Definitely. Again, there's so many ways to extract value on top of it. Like, you can get these tools for free for an extended period of time. It's not complicated. There's so many books. There are so many deals. And you can use that to A, exclusively focus on the tools, or B, you could get some of the tools, and then you hop on, like I said, Lay the House. You get really sharp plays there. There's a million people on the marketplace like that where you can have the best of both worlds. There's nothing wrong with having some origination in the portfolio, in my opinion.
Also, one other thing, the end of the month is rapidly approaching, and my guess is there's going to be a lot of people that had a huge month. With that in mind, make sure to send your Pickett screenshots to us at Stochastic HOF, OddsShopper HOF, so Hall of Fame, and OddsShopper on Twitter or X, and send them with the month. Tell us how we helped you. Tell us how the tools helped you, and get a free month. If you have over $500 in profit, if you have over 5K in profit, you get a free month and a free month of Tails. If you have over 10K, you get 3 free months of Portfolio EV. So like Ben said, tons of ways to extract value and just get it for free.
Absolutely.
Oh, nice. Dave said he used Refer a Friend 6 times for the
That's
homies.
awesome. Yeah, you can make some money. You got people. Spread the word. We have a simple, awesome Refer a Friend program now where you get paid for bringing people into the ecosystem.
Yeah. Awesome. Which means you just got like what, 140 bucks, or what do we do? 25 bucks per or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Extra money. Never hurts.
I got my I got that plus 12.5 Robert Morris. They closed. I think they 3 points they were down at half. Funny how these games work, isn't it? And then watch they just get routed in the second half. And it's a guy
happened to Omaha last night. It was like a close game with St. John's at half, and then I looked down and we're down 25.
Can I just say that is either the best feeling or the worst feeling in the world? Here's what I mean. The best feeling is you grab like a 12.5 point first half dog. They cover, right? And it's a close first half. Wasn't really a big sweat. And then you look at the end of the game. You stop following it because you already won. And it's like they lose by 30. And you go, thank God. I bet
double win.
First half spread. It's even worse, though. Right? There's always 2 sides of a betting coin. When you have the plus 12.5, they lose the first half by like 16 and then go on a 20-0 run in the second half and win outright.
Yes. And to the flip side, when you have the favorite and you're like, man, I guess, it's a misread. I guess that it was going to be a competitive game, and they win the game by like 50 points.
Yeah.
And you have the first half.
Yep.
And you're like, what were you doing?
I will say, though, and this is just purely anecdotal because I don't bet a ton of first half spreads and stuff.
Yeah, I don't bet a lot of them.
There is, for football, I enjoy that. You know where I love it? Preseason football, where I originate all my own bets. Preseason, first quarter, and first half spreads is a straight money machine if you're doing it right. I'll die on that hill forever.
Of course, there's definitely edge and weird stuff like that.
But like when you look at some of these, maybe there's something to be said about teams kind of better teams sleepwalk through the first half and then just run away with it in the second half.
You have to keep in mind, I was talking about this in Discord yesterday, because rightfully so, it was a frustrating day. You have college kids in random cities, in random gyms, playing random teams. Like, there's a lot of weird stuff going on in these games. And it's not crazy to think even the best teams that they start slow at times. They don't like the sight lines. It's a weird situation. It's a team that they obviously, like Alabama. What do you think the kids on that team know about Robert Morris, honestly? Like,
right.
I would assume some of them didn't even know that was a team.
Right, but Robert Morris knows a whole lot about Alabama. Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, you're just not talent-wise, obviously. I'm sure Alabama will figure it out, but you play a funky style and you're just it's sometimes awkward to get into these games when you're used to playing SEC opponents day after day, and now you play like a gimmicky team. It's not a knock, but Robert Morris plays a lot different than Mississippi State or Missouri or Auburn.
Yep. Yeah.
So
are we going to do another? All right. So why don't we do another red dot bet here and sweat one of these out? But we don't have to do it live, but like, should we just do second half for this game?
No, I'm done with that game.
All right.
Come on, you could bet a live if you want to get like extra, double, triple, quadruple level crazy. There is only about 10 minutes to go in the Congo game. If you want to bet a live over.
All right.
It's only like a 10-minute sweat.
All right.
Do it. I know you're secretly intrigued. And
okay, fuck it.
You go to World Cup qualifiers Africa. You probably get plus money on this. Yeah, you're getting almost plus 200. So you just a little splash action.
World Cup qualifiers Africa.
Yeah. Like I said, I want to be clear, low probability to hit, but I like this game pre-match. And the Congo I don't know what they're really doing, to be honest.
Wait, is this the DR Congo?
Yeah, Democratic Republic.
I thought it was the Dominican Republic of Congo.
Smart.
Am I going over to that same spread total tab? Or am I just betting over like?
Well, you could just go to game lines.
Like over 1.5 goals. Yeah, 2-1.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, low unit allocation, but I wouldn't be stunned if they pour one in late here. They're not. Again, I have not watched the game for obvious reasons, but these goal differentials matter.
Okay. Do you have anything on this game?
Yeah, I had an over before the game, which is again in trouble. Just the way soccer has been going right now.
What was the total?
2.5.
2.5. Okay.
So they need a 2-pointer. The killer for me was the Cyprus game. That took the wind out of my sails.
By the way, this is plus 175 on FanDuel, plus 220 right now on DraftKings.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get crazy discrepancies on this stuff.
Plus 235 now. I'm betting it.
Do it. Live a little. Again, you only have about 5 minutes left in this game, but I don't mind those little micro bets. You just have to know what you're getting into.
All right. God, DraftKings takes so long to place a bet for you when it's live.
Especially with something like this.
Brutal.
But yeah, you got to find the game so you could bring up the red dot.
Lay the house as, did we ever figure out who the guy was tailing all of your picket plays? I don't know, man. There was multiple of them, which again, by all means, go for it. It's just not going to help you. It's going to end badly for you.
Yeah.
You know what I find funny about that is clearly trying to circumvent having to pay, right, for a sub. Thinking like they cracked the code. They got and they just have
100%.
all the same bets.
Angle shooting.
Except you're not.
No, you're actually doing something not smart. Like this minion who keeps trying to get us to click on this random link.
Anyway, yeah, guys, first week's free. Or did you ever find that link, join link?
Oh, sorry.
I just think I can find it. Actually, I don't know if I can. Super helpful because the way I see it is like number one, you're getting all of the bonuses from the books anyway. 2, the more books you're on, the more helpful it is being on Portfolio EV. And 3, you just get Portfolio EV free for as many months as you want, depending on how many books you sign up on. So it's just the ultimate trifecta win.
Yeah. I mean, again, when you're taking advantage of all of that stuff, it's absolutely crucial that you could get months on end. I have the link right here, though.
Yeah, throw it in there.
Okay. Narrator. What? We changed our Discord. Oh, in. All right. You know what? Society. I can't find this link, Lafe.
Well, you guys, we'll throw it. We'll put it somewhere.
Yeah, sorry.
It's all right.
We changed the names of the channels. I can't find it.
Appreciate you guys hanging out. Have a great rest of the day. Hey, have a good weekend too. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a good weekend. Does Florida team total look good on the tools? No, but Florida might hang 100. So they're going to be quite angry.
We'll see you guys back here soon. Make sure to join the Discord.
Yep.
Do it straight here. Look, top right, profile settings. Do it right there. Let's win some bets. Let's make some money. Head into the weekend strong. Run this back again on Monday. Ben's Jazzraz bets over on Twitter. Me, Laffy_D, LOUGHY_D. And we'll see you back here soon. Peace.